Hey guys, it's Kelly and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a 2022 Honda CRV Touring Tour, and I'm so excited to dive into this very popular 5-passenger vehicle. If this is your first time joining me, hey, I'm Kelly and I'm the Car Mom. I review cars for moms and for families. I'm a mom of 2, almost 3, and a certified child passenger safety tech. Please subscribe to my channel and turn on that bell icon so you don't miss any of the videos we post, and let's get into this very popular CRV tour. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this 22 CRV. So the CRV got a redesign in 2017 and it's getting a new redesign in 2023. I haven't seen a 2023 in person, but I'm actually super optimistic about some of the changes, especially when it comes to the car seat setup. And I'll be sure to cover that when we chat about the back seat. So just know this tour is applicable for any cars 2017 to 2022. So if you're going to be entering the used CRV market and you have kids, you are not going to want to miss this tour because the back seat kind of has some drama. Okay, so let's start by breaking down the exterior design of this 22 Touring. So starting with the front end, you notice we have a lot of crisp lines found on the vehicle. So we have some pretty intense hood lines right here, some intense line right here, some nice LED lights. This is called the Sonic Gray Pearl color. It's like a bluish gray. I actually really enjoy it. I didn't like it as much on the Pilot, but I'm more into it on the CRV. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this color. Is it cute? Is it too trendy? Is it gonna stand the test of time? Only thing I'm not loving about the front end, I mean, I do like the hood lines. I think it has a nice broad stance. It's got some good ground clearance. This has a lot going on. And I just think the Honda logo, I think it's like kind of dying for a refresh. I actually think the 23 CRV upgrades look beautiful. Like I said, I'm so excited to dive into this car, but I wanted to make sure I got my hands on a 22 before they were too hard to find because I do think it's so important to talk about this back seat. Again, stick with me. Okay, taking a look at our side profile, check this out. 19-inch rims, two-toned. I actually think the wheels are beautiful on this car. Liking on the Touring trim some of the nice chrome that we get. A little bit of chrome here, chrome around the windows, like a faux chrome roof rail. I think it looks nice. I really do. Back end looks nice with this like boomerang wind-swept kind of tail light right here. As far as the back end's concerned, pretty basic. Pretty basic. This is the all-wheel drive and this is the Touring trim, so I'll be sure to point out those Touring specific features when we get to the interior. But overall, I think the exterior is fine. Like I said, I'm really excited about the 23 upgrades. This isn't my favorite like looking 5-passenger car on the road, but it has some other fun features to offer. So let's take a look at the interior. Okay, before we go any further, let's talk a little about what's going on underneath the hood of this car. This is a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder. You get about 190 horsepower. It has what's called a CVT transmission. CVT stands for continuous variable transmission. It operates different than your typical automatic transmission where it doesn't have those standard gear shifts. It's kind of hard to explain, but just know it may drive a little different than some other vehicles. Some popular CVT transmission cars are Hondas, Subarus, some Nissans still have them. Historically, CVT transmissions don't have the best reputation when it comes to reliability. I do feel as though the Honda has an exception. Their CVT transmission is incredibly reliable. So I'm not scared of their CVT, but I do think it's important to drive a car like this, that if you've never driven a CVT transmission, because it will feel a little differently and you may not like how it shifts. Me personally, when I'm driving any of the Hondas, I don't really love the drive until I get over 60 miles an hour. So just something to note when you test drive this vehicle, make sure you drive it on the roads you typically would. Don't be scared to get over 65 miles an hour on the highway. Make sure you feel comfortable merging and just really like put it to the test. Okay, let's break down the interior of this Honda CRV. Let's take a look at the door panel. I'm actually really into this wood trim. It's kind of this like, it looks exposed, but it's kind of like silky to the touch. I actually think it's really beautiful and kind of high end. Besides that, we just have some simple black leather, a little bit of contrast stitching, some side cubbies that aren't necessarily anything to write home about, but for a 5-passenger car to have like 2 places for water bottles and an extra cubby is like enough to get me like going a little bit. If you look right here, we have a ton of our crash prevention technology. So let's talk about what's standard on the Honda CRV when it comes to crash prevention tech. You're gonna have forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, and automated cruise control. We love to see crash prevention tech standard on a car like this. In addition, the Honda CRV is an extremely safe car with good crash ratings. It has a 5-star from the NTHS and is an IIHS top safety pick. So, good job, CRV. You have the tech, you have the score. We love to see it. Okay, let's start her up and I'll get you on the other side. This is actually kind of impressive. This is like a really nice size mirror, especially for the size of a vehicle. Like, have seen way smaller mirrors in way bigger cars, so that's kind of fun for me. Okay, as far as my driver's comfort is concerned, seats are pretty comfortable. I would say they're like mid-firm, mid-soft. Not that contoured of a seat. It's honestly pretty basic. I do have power seats on both sides, which is always nice. Moving to some of our steering wheel controls. Here's our display right here. It looks nice, very much integrated into the dash. And then I have all of my steering wheel controls right here. So I have my Bluetooth right here, and then my things for automated cruise control, plus my heated steering wheel. That's exclusive to the Touring trim level, which is nice. And then all my crash prevention tech is found down here as well. So what I like about the CRV, and I think it's something you'll notice as we continue the tour, they're not scared of buttons. And like, I think sometimes manufacturers like to put everything in the screen. I like having so many quick buttons. I like that I could quickly turn off my lane keep assist. I even have a power tailgate button back here. I just think that's very functional. Vents, nice, good ventilation for me. In the Touring trim, we have the 7-inch display right here. It's a complete touchscreen. It has navigation as well in the Touring trim, as well as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you'll find all of that. They pull all of our climate control out of here, which again, I love to see, just like an actual button. Climate control, incredibly easy to use. Higher fan, less fan. Temperature, temperature. Sync, heated seats. I mean, everything is just right there. This is a little clunky, like when you're in park. I guess when you're in drive and you're actually controlling it, you have a little bit more room. That feels a little tight right there to get to it, but I mean, nothing crazy. Parking brake, brake hold, one of my favorite features. That's our stop start, and then our econ mode as well. So this is the shifter. My thing is, it's like, if we're not gonna have a knob, or we're not gonna have it here, I do feel as though this is pretty nicely out of the way, because it opens for a lot of space down here, which I'll show you when we get to there. So this is where the shifter is. If we move down here, we do have a wireless charger in the Touring trim, as well as 2 USBs. My only thing with the wireless charger is that I like it here. I like how visible it is. I have a problem when they like tuck the charger away somewhere and then you couldn't access your phone easily. I would like to see it just a little bit more indented, only so like then you could use it as more of like a cubby space. Because I felt like if I had a lip gloss here, or my keys, or like even my phone, like if I make a sharp turn, it's gonna fly. So would have loved to have seen that just like a little bit more indented. Side-by-side cup holders, we love to see it. Now the center console of this car actually kind of has a lot to talk about. It's actually pretty cool. So to start off, we can go here and we have like a little bit of space. So this is all completely open. So this is some really nice like storage area. Then you can go here and you can find it down there. Then you can also lift that up. So it's just like kind of doing the most for like a little 5-passenger car like this. I like the flexibility. I think that's like really nicely done. This armrest is also really nice. Like, even though everything else is dropped down so low, I like that I have a nice place to rest my arm. I know that seems minor, but trust me, like if you're gonna be in this car all the time, you wanna be comfortable. That's very helpful. Okay, we have a sunroof, which is great. And then we also have a little feature I love. I call this the Are You Behaving mirror. Do you see that? It's a mirror right here, so you quickly just go back and check on your kids to see if they're behaving. Okay, that basically wraps up the front seat. Let's take a look at the second row in the trunk space, because there's going to be a lot to break down back there. Before I show you the second row, I want to talk about the car seat setup. I want to talk about what they're trying to do, or why they did it, and then I want to show you why it's not the most functional. Now, I want to start by saying it's kind of difficult to talk about car seat setups in a broad sense, because there's so many different car seat combinations out there. So if you are interested in the CRV and you have a complicated car seat setup, like 3 or more, you need to seek professional help, honestly, because not everything's going to work, and I couldn't possibly show you every single combination on this little tour. But I want to talk about some things to look out for when CRV shopping. And me personally, I would not buy this car for more than 2 children. And maybe not even 2 children, because of a crucial error that they make. So before I show you the car seat setup, here's the rundown. Across the bench, 3 tether anchors. We know that's industry standard. We know that's government minimum requirements. So we have 3 tether anchors. Then across the bench, we have 5 lower anchors. You're like, 5 lower anchors, Kelly, that seems weird. It kind of is. So the middle seat has 1, and then it would share with the driver's side seat. So it does not mean that you could fit 3 car seats installed with the lower anchors. It means that you would have the option to install a car seat in the middle with the lower anchors if you wanted to. Okay, are you with me? So why did they do that? They did it for brownie points. They did it because then they get a claim that they're more car seat friendly. Like Nitz is like, oh my gosh, good job, you did something extra. But in reality, that 5th lower anchor doesn't really do much to help us at all, and I'm gonna explain why. The middle seat of the CRV is extremely difficult for, like I said, a couple of reasons. The first is the seatbelt comes from the ceiling, which means the seatbelt needs a connector point down there. So there's the connector point of the middle seatbelt. This is in front of the seatbelt buckle for this seat. So as you can see, if you had two rear-facing kids in car seats, like a lot of families do, like myself included, I'm like, oh great, the car seats fit, and they did. I got two good installations here. This is a Kleckling installed with the lower anchors. That's the Kleck Foof installed with the seatbelt. These car seats are installed safely. It's like, oh, well, there's room for mom. I can sit back there with my kids. How exciting. Or I could do a 3 across combination. How exciting. But can you find the buckle? The buckle is behind the base, leaving it inoperable for this person to buckle. So why I hate this is, one, you lose a seat, and also I think this encourages unsafe driving, because then if I'm a desperate mom, well, technically I can fit, I just can't buckle. Hate to see it. Now, some good things about it: doors open nice and wide, almost at a 90-degree angle. Love that, especially for pulling out pumpkin seats. I'm gonna take out this car seat, and then I'm gonna kind of show you a better look of what that middle seat looks like. Here's my middle seat belt. Here's my anchor point. So this needs to get buckled here. Oh, what? Okay, so can I technically like slither around this as an adult and buckle it? Yes, but if I had a car seat installed here, honestly, with the seatbelt or with the lower anchors, it almost frequently will completely block the use of the seatbelt. So that's kind of making this middle seat almost in a way inoperable, which is really frustrating because they put in this 5th lower anchor. So if you wanted to install your car seat in the middle, if you had one child in a car seat, you could install it here and then you could sit on this side. It's when you add that second child and then you want to utilize sitting back here with the kids, or if you're trying to do 3, where this car just doesn't pencil. So just, is it possible? Sometimes in some situations. Is it easy? No. Would I recommend it? No. I think there's plenty of other options that accommodate 3 much better than this car. So just something to be aware of. Now it looks like in 23, again, I haven't seen one in person, but I've been stalking photos at Honda. If you're watching, would love to have one. Just like need 10 minutes with it, babe. Nothing crazy. It looks like they flipped these. With these being, it looks like they flipped these and they removed this anchor. With these being flipped, we may be able to do some more 3 across combinations. I don't know, I'm dying to see one, but just something to note. Okay, let's talk about some of my amenities back here, moving on from the car seat setup. Check out my knee clearance. Actually, an incredibly spacious second row for a 5-passenger SUV. I'm super comfortable. This bench is nice and deep, so I have some good support even like underneath my thighs, which is very nice. My head clearance is great. I'm honestly super comfortable back here, which is why I love this car for like first-time parents or parents of or smaller families, because it is a nice size SUV. As far as my amenities are concerned, I have vents on the back of the center console and 2 USBs right here. And honestly, some pretty nice side cubbies. Again, kind of like that 2 water bottle thing that we found in the front. One thing that's bizarre is I only have a leather back pocket on this side. I've seen some manufacturers do this, and I don't know why. I've heard so many reasons, one of them being like it saves on weight, which I think is crazy. Like, give me 2 pockets. And then if I pull down this thing, I have 2 cup holders as well. So amenities are nice. I really actually find the second row extremely comfortable. Let's get you a shot of what a rear-facing car seat looks like with a tall driver so you can take a look at that clearance, and then we'll move on to the trunk. Okay, this is a Kleck Foof car seat installed with the seat belt, and I have, I would say, 2.5 inches of clearance set for a tall driver like myself. I'm about 6 feet tall, and I find that clearance pretty darn impressive, if I'm being honest. I really like it for like one child. It just gets so complicated for 2, and I think something that parents don't think about when they bring home that second baby is like wanting to sit back there. Like when I brought home my daughter, like I wasn't gonna put her back there with a crazy toddler. So like I feel like I had to sit back there, and like in this car, parents don't have that option. So and they almost have the option. Like we can fit, we just can't access the buckle. It's driving me crazy, if you can't tell. Okay, let's take a look at the trunk. Power tailgate also on the touring trim level. Like, love to see it. And then this is the Zoe twin stroller to give you an idea of what the trunk space looks like. So this is a more compact double stroller, but as you can see, it fits great. Let's remove it. Okay, so with the seats up, you're looking at 39.2 cubic feet of cargo space. So if we compare that to the Toyota RAV4, the RAV4 has 37.6 cubic feet of cargo space, again, with that second row up. So we're looking at about 2 more cubic feet compared to the RAV4. Super easy to fold down the second row seats. And then if you were to put the second row down, you're looking at 75.8 cubic feet. Compared to the RAV4, you're at 69.9. So with the second row down, it's quite a bit more storage space. The total length of the Honda CRV is 182 inches. It's actually one of the roomier 5-passenger SUVs as far as cubic feet and cargo space are concerned. Not necessarily like the biggest or the widest or the tallest, but good cubic feet. So especially like if you don't have children or you're just looking for the ability to, like, you know, put the seats down and make a trunk bed. I mean, it's nice. It's a nice size. It really is. Let's check what's under here. Spare tire. Love to see it. Not all cars come with them. Not all cars come with them. Cargo cover right here for some privacy of your valuables. And then our power tailgate. So anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up my 2022 Honda CRV tour. Quick little recap. I do love the car. I think it's spacious. I like the standard safety features. I like the crash ratings. I like the interior comfort features. I'm just a little bit disappointed in the second row when it comes to families in a car seat setup. I'm optimistic for the 23 changes. So if you are in the market for a CRV, I'd consider holding out for the 23. I like the redesign better, and I'm really excited about the second row. So thank you all so much for watching. I will talk to you next time. Leave a comment below which other car tours you want to see, and have a good one.